There once lived, beside a great forest, a poor woodcutter with his wife and his 2 children. The boy was named Hansel, and the girl was Gretel. Food had become scarce throughout the land. Each day there was less bread, and each night there was more worry. One evening, as the wind moved softly through the trees, the father lay awake and said quietly, "What will become of us? How can we care for our children when we have so little?" Fear had gradually settled upon the house. In their distress, a painful choice slowly took shape. Early the next morning, the parents led Hansel and Gretel deep into the forest. They gave each child a small piece of bread and lit a fire among the trees. "Rest here," they said. "We will return." And when the forest grew quiet, the children found themselves alone. Gretel felt afraid. Yet Hansel, who had quietly gathered small white pebbles the night before, spoke gently. "Do not worry. We will find our way." When the moon rose high in the sky, the pebbles shimmered softly along the path. Hand in hand, they followed the shining stones through the silent forest. By morning, they reached their home once more. Their father, who had known no peace, was filled with relief to see them return. But hardship did not end. Soon hunger returned again. And once more, the children were taken into the forest, farther than before. This time Hansel had no pebbles. He scattered crumbs of bread along the path, hoping they would guide them home. But when night came, the crumbs were gone. The forest birds had carried them away. Hansel and Gretel walked beneath the moon. They searched and searched, but the forest seemed endless. Their steps grew slow. Their voices grew quiet. Still, they did not leave each other's side. At last, tired and hungry, they rested beneath a tree and fell asleep. For 3 days they wandered deeper into the woods. Each morning they rose again and walked on together. One afternoon, they saw a small white bird perched upon a branch. Its song was clear and gentle. The bird flew ahead, and the children followed it. Soon they came upon a small house. It seemed almost like a dream. The walls were made of bread, the roof of cake, and the windows of clear sugar. Hungry and amazed, Hansel broke off a small piece. Gretel tasted a little of the window. Then a voice called softly from inside. "Who is nibbling at my little house?" "The wind," the children answered. The door opened slowly, and an old woman stepped out. She leaned upon a stick and smiled. "Dear children," she said kindly, "come inside and rest." Inside, there was warm milk, sweet cakes, apples, and nuts. After so many hungry days, the children felt comforted. 2 small beds were prepared for them with clean white linen. For the first time in many days, they slept peacefully. But the old woman was not as she seemed. She had built the house to draw wandering children near. Her kindness was only a disguise. In the morning, Hansel was separated from his sister, and Gretel was told to prepare meals. Each day passed in the same quiet pattern. The old woman would check on Hansel, but he cleverly held out a small bone instead of his finger. The woman, whose sight was dim, believed he was still thin. Time moved on. The old woman grew impatient. One morning, she said it was time to prepare the oven. Gretel understood that danger was close. The oven was heated, and the old woman told Gretel to look inside. "I do not know how," Gretel said calmly. "Please show me." The old woman leaned forward to demonstrate. In that moment, Gretel gathered her courage. She gently but firmly pushed the woman inside and closed the oven door. The harm she had planned could no longer reach them. Gretel ran to free her brother. "Hansel, we are safe," she cried. He stepped out, and they embraced with relief. Together they searched the house. Inside they found chests filled with pearls and shining stones. "These will help us," said Hansel. Gretel filled her apron, and Hansel filled his pockets. But more important than jewels was the feeling that they were free. They left the forest and walked for many hours. Soon they reached a wide stretch of water. "There is no bridge," said Hansel. Nearby, a white duck swam gently upon the surface. The water moved softly beneath it. Gretel called quietly, little duck, carry us across." The duck came near. One by one, it carried them safely to the other side. As they walked on, the forest slowly began to look familiar. At last, they saw their father's house in the distance. They ran forward and rushed into his arms. He had grieved deeply since they were lost. He had regretted his decision every day. Hansel and Gretel poured out the pearls and shining stones upon the table. But greater than treasure was the joy of being together again. Hunger no longer troubled their home. And from that day forward, the family lived in greater peace. In the deep forest, Hansel had learned calm thinking. Gretel had discovered courage within herself. They had faced fear. They had not faced it alone. And though the forest had seemed endless, a path had opened for them. For even in the darkest woods, there can be light enough to guide the way home. And sometimes, that light is the hand we hold.